nice.
Greetings, YouTubers. Grimmy Dragon here with a rather sudden review, kind of a bonus one, because Funpub has just struck again, releasing the next figure in their subscription service 3.0. And to my surprise, well, not really, I got an email from them a while back saying that they were going to have some issues with this one, but we got ourselves G2 Starscream. Now, apparently there were some misassembly issues with his wings, which we'll get into later, but yeah, that pretty much tipped everyone off, well, tipped me off to G2 Starscream being next. And lo and behold, here he is. And it's time we took a look. Alright, so looking at Starscream in his vehicle mode, it's your standard F-15 jet, pretty much the standard Seeker mold, well, from the Classics line. And Starscream here is actually the final figure we're getting from that mold, and it kind of shows that this one has been around for a while. No kidding, how many did they make of this thing? About 30 or so different Seekers, counting US, Japan, and the club. 30? Seriously? Oh, come on now. Think they'd give us a new one by now. They've tried, they haven't quite touched on the scale that is just about right. I mean, they got the leaders going now. Oh yeah, those. Let's just carry on with the review then. Alright, okay. So, all in all, the G2 deco is done very nicely. You can even get it underneath the wing, which is rare for a US toy to get. Normally you only see that on the Japanese releases. But the deco is very accurate to the G2 Starscream that was released in the 90s. Although I think these were a little different. It's hard to remember for certain, but yeah, I think these had like little Decepticon symbols in gray, but yeah, I like the stripes. That works. The only other odd thing I can really think of is the orange on the G2 Starscream was actually a shade of pink. I guess they didn't want to go with pink, so they went with orange instead. Works for me far more manly than that little pink color. Oh. I don't know, I kind of missed the pink on him. But, yeah, I mean, looks good. I like the G2 logos, which is pretty nice. The original G2 Starscream actually used the regular Decepticon logos instead of the G2 ones. So this is a real nice touch. The only thing I miss is that this one doesn't have Starscream's name hidden in the leg. Or what will be the leg. But still looks pretty good. And as you can see, they tampoed where the stickers would be on the G2 Starscream figure, which I don't have anymore, unfortunately. You never managed to keep any of those old toys, did you? No, I didn't. Gotta hunt that down again. But, yeah. Here we got Starscream. Let's do a little quick comparison. We'll start with the other G2 figure, Ramjet, and these two really go well together. I think they made a wonderful choice on giving us G2 versions of both of these guys. So, it's wonderful to have both of them. if you had the G2 Seekers, which they only made Starscream and Thundercracker, Starscream and Ramjet, sorry. You gotta get your names right! Yes, I know, okay. Yeah, Starscream and Ramjet. But, yeah, I mean, I think they did a wonderful job of getting these to be as close to the details that those old figures had in these new bodies, which is as classics as you can get. So, yeah. But let's also compare Starscream to the Universe 2.0 Starscream and try to get a little differences in the G1 and G2. As you can see, the wing designs are completely different. This one has the more classic stripes, while this one has the gray orders around the camo. And really interesting. And obviously the blue is replaced with gray. And the null rays are colored differently. This one better mimics the new missile launchers that the G2 Seekers got, because the G1 missiles were a little bit too small. Oh, those blasted toy regulations. It's annoying. Yeah, I know, I agree with you, but still, these turned out pretty good. And for another comparison, we'll go Japanese and take a look at it with Ghost Starscream, who had the pretty much was a clear version of Universe Starscream when you think about it, with a couple touches of chrome. Oh yeah. Again, same details are just same details really, but yeah. And for fun, we'll just compare him with the other sub-figure from this line, which happened to be a Seeker Nacelle, who was totally different. And like I mentioned, I no longer have my G2 Starscream, so I can't do a comparison with that one. Sorry guys, but yeah, the vehicle mode looks great. Let's get him into robot mode, see how that looks. Now, Starscream's robot mode, it's pretty standard stuff. If you're familiar with a Seeker, you know what to expect. The coloring is a bit eye-catching, as most G2 toys were. You got the very neon orange body, which again was a neon pink in the original toy, but then you got the gray and white mix, with a few paint apps here and there to represent the stickers that were on the original toy. Now, gonna bring in G2 Ramjet. I don't know why I'm saying Thundercracker, because you're nuts. Yeah, well, I am a little crazy, but that's beside the point. You may notice that on Ramjet, they actually use stickers on him. Not the case with Starscream. They actually tampoed all the pieces in. I honestly do prefer the stickers on Ramjet. That's a little bit of a personal preference, but I think the shiny backgrounds help him pop a little bit more. Not that Starscream really needs help sticking out. I think the neon colors really do the job pretty well. Yeah, you probably wouldn't miss him from half a mile away. But, yeah, articulation's pretty standard. Forward, backward on the arms, in and out. You got an elbow bend, real tight. And the joints don't seem all too loose. except for this one here. But you put it out far enough, it tightens up too. But you got a ball joint at the hips, nice tight 90-degree knee bend, and a swivel right below the knee. You can move the toes up forward before transformation, but that's... Oh yeah, and you got left and right swivel at the head, which this bit of kibble makes a nice handle for. I mean, again, if you have the Secret mold, and you probably do if you're a Transformers collector, because they've made 1 billion of them, well, 30 of them at least, yeah, you know what to expect. Now, one thing I didn't cover in the vehicle mode is that these missile launchers on his arms, they do fire. And as I mentioned, it's mostly like a painted purple missile, but it looks like it's molded in white. Given that there's no other purple parts on his body, I can understand that, because it looks like he was mostly cast in gray and white, and the rest are paint apps. And some of the gray is paint apps too. But they did a good job of color matching the gray and like the painted gray and the molded gray, so I'm pretty happy with it. Now another interesting thing you might notice is that the head is actually done in white with a black face. And I think we were expecting a gray head, especially from the card art that's included with him. But given that kind of does a good job of resembling that G2 figure head, because he had the gray, like the white nose cone around a little black head, or black face. Yeah, this works. So I think it looks good. I mean, it definitely is an interesting figure. And, you know, most G2 repaints are interesting, to say the least. But let's get one more thing in there for fun, because I got a bunch of comparisons I want to do. Well, maybe 2 more groups. But, yeah. Let's just put in G2 Bruticus just for the fun of it. Now, as you can see, if you got a G2 display going, Starscream will go perfectly with it. Look at all that neon craziness. You actually like these weird colors? Of course I do. I really like these 90s style color schemes. You've got some strange tastes. Whatever, but I do like it, so yeah. But anyway, for another comparison, let's bring in the rest of the subscription line, so far at least. So we'll bring in Tarantulas, who came out last month, Serpentor, who came out before, Nacelle, and here we go, Karzak. So yeah, quite the nice little group. I don't recall Serpentor coming with that staff though. No, he didn't. Just added some microns that I had, because he used that kind of stuff in a comic. Oh, okay, well, it does suit him nicely. Really brings out that evil look, although it's a crazy color. Yeah, I think it did a good job for him. But yeah, there's the subscription set. And here's where it goes completely nuts. Alright. Let me bring the cell back because he's part of this. And we'll bring in Ramjet. Next up, let's get his older self in here. G1, like the Universe 2.0 G1 Color Starscream, and the Henkei Gente Ghost Starscream. And yeah, you can see the differences are very apparent. And he looks a lot different from his G1 self. So, yeah, this is going to be an oddball for any Starscream collector. Anyway, let's bring in Thundercracker. Skywarp. Oh no, you're not going to get us a look at your entire Seeker collection, are you? Yes, I am. Brace yourselves, folks. This is going to take a while. Okay. Dirge. Thrust. Yeah, both from Generations. Thundercracker being from Generations. Skywarp being from Classics. Henkei Ramjet. It's going to be hard to get these all in frame. Why are you bothering then? Because I want to. Acid Storm. From Universe 2.0. BotCon Sunstorm. Oh, great. Nice one, huh? You really are so graceful with this. Oh, shut up. Okay. But anyway, BotCon Bitstream, and finally BotCon Hotlink. I don't think anybody can see all of them. Well, maybe not, but they're all there. And yeah, there are a lot of Seekers, so I think it's appropriate that Starscream was the last to be using the mold, since he was actually the first, with the classic Starscream that I no longer possess. But it's good to see how much use one mold can give, and how many different characters a mold can give. Although I would like more diversity going forward. So would I. But anyway, that's it for G2 Color Starscream. Greetings, YouTubers. Grimmy Dragon here with a rather sudden review, kind of a bonus one, because Funpub has just struck again, releasing the next figure in their subscription service 3.0. And to my surprise, well, not really, I got an email from them a while back saying that they were going to have some issues with this one, but we got ourselves G2 Starscream. Now, apparently there were some misassembly issues with his wings, which we'll get into later, but yeah, that pretty much tipped everyone off, well, tipped me off to G2 Starscream being next. And lo and behold, here he is. And it's time we took a look.